On May 30th, 2026, the Puskás Aréna in Budapest hosts the final match of the European club football calendar. For Arsenal, 90 minutes stand between them and a historic achievement. Having already secured the Premier League title, a victory in Hungary would complete a domestic and European double, earning the club its first ever Champions League trophy. On the other side of the pitch, Paris Saint-Germain arrives with the chance to build a dynasty. As defending champions, winning here would make them the first club to claim back-to-back titles since Real Madrid achieved the feat nearly a decade ago. To reach this point, these two clubs relied on diametrically opposed tactical philosophies. Luis Enrique engineered Paris into an overwhelming offensive machine, while Mikel Arteta drilled Arsenal into an impenetrable defensive fortress. When the referee blows the whistle, these two specific approaches will collide head-on. The outcome rests on a simple conflict: whether a team that generates goals through pure statistical volume can break a squad built to absorb that pressure without losing its shape. Getting onto the pitch, Paris Saint-Germain brings an attack that has completely run over every team. PSG's 44 goals are a massive statistical anomaly, landing just shy of the all-time record. This chart morphs to a tactical map showing their engine, a fluid, man-to-man pressing system. They mark opponents one-on-one high up the pitch, suffocating teams to force rapid turnovers. Once they win the ball back, they instantly feed their wide forwards. Ousmane Dembele and Kvaratskhelia isolate defenders in space, turning rapid transitions into high-percentage scoring chances before the defense can recover. The system relies on relentless athletic pressure. By the time opposing defenses manage to set their backline, they are already structurally broken and physically exhausted. Arsenal counters that high-speed chaos with absolute structural discipline. This line graph tracks Arsenal's goals conceded across the campaign, remaining almost entirely flat. Through 14 European matches, they are undefeated. They have kept 9 clean sheets and allowed exactly 6 goals. The foundation of that record sits squarely on their center-back pairing. William Saliba anchors the line with calm composure, using his pace and positioning to read the game and intercept passes well before danger materializes. Beside him, Gabriel Magalhaes provides the physical aggression. He engages in heavy duels, clearing the box and intimidating forwards who attempt to hold up play. Together, they allow Arsenal to absorb extreme high-pressure situations. The team survives by maintaining their shape and refusing to break, no matter how many men the opposition commits forward. But even these systems have structural flaws, and the final will expose specific mismatches on both sides. Arsenal arrives with a critical vulnerability at right back. Ben White is entirely ruled out with a knee injury, and Jurrien Timber remains highly doubtful, likely forcing an 18-year-old or a natural center-back into a wide defensive position. That is the exact zone where Kvaratskhelia operates. PSG will systematically funnel the ball to the left wing to isolate Arsenal's makeshift right back in severe one-on-one situations. Paris carries their own injury concerns, with star right back Achraf Hakimi racing the clock to be fit. But their most glaring weakness lies squarely in the penalty box. Matvei Sofonov has taken over as the primary goalkeeper for PSG, but he shows a consistent vulnerability when dealing with high balls and set-piece deliveries. Looking at this scale, the physical contrast between the two starting lineups is stark. Arsenal is significantly taller and heavier across the board. They leverage that mass beautifully, leading the Premier League with 23 set-piece goals this season. Ultimately, the match will tip toward the manager who can successfully hide their own glaring weakness while ruthlessly hammering away at their opponents. Both managers will deploy highly specific traps to force those errors. Luis Enrique, for instance, regularly instructs his goalkeeper to intentionally send goal kicks completely out of bounds. This schematic demonstrates how that works in practice. By conceding a throw-in deep in the opponent's half, PSG baits the opposing team into committing players forward. The moment the ball is thrown in, PSG's pressing trap snaps shut to create an artificial transition opportunity. Arsenal can neutralize that trap by refusing to play through it. By baiting PSG's press high up the pitch, Arsenal can send direct physical balls over the midfield, relying on their strong forwards to win the aerial duels in open space. If Paris Saint-Germain hoists the trophy, the data points to a clear conclusion. Aggressive youth, positional fluidity, and sheer attacking volume are the optimal tools for building a modern European dynasty. An Arsenal victory would validate a different philosophy, that physical height, defensive organization, and efficiency from dead ball situations can determine the outcome at the highest level of European competition. The winner in Budapest will claim the 2026 title, but the winning strategy